Good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining our Triangle Center for Spiritual Living meditation on this Sunday morning. Wherever you are in this moment now, we are here together, and that's a great thing. So, I've chosen a guided meditation this morning for focus on inner calm and inner peace in an exterior world that is constantly changing, it seems, and so much seems out of our control. This meditation is to bring us back to our very center where we do have that control. So, knowing that any sense of peace comes from within, I invite you now to close your outer eyes and take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, just allow any tension that might exist, just be fully present in this moment now. Arrive here and arrive now. Enjoy the meditation. I'll see you on the other side. So begin to bring yourself back into your awareness of the room you're in. Continue the awareness of your breath, recognizing that there is one presence, one spirit, one infinite intelligence in and through all things, all situations and circumstances, through all beings everywhere. As I know that this is so, I know that spirit is fully present right where I am, living itself as me. As I know this is the truth for me, I know it's also true for all beings on the planet, that every experience is a shared experience in our oneness with spirit. I realize in this moment now that the world we live in is one of constant change, for better or for worse, but always changing. That the only true constant, ever-present aspect of our being is within. Just beyond our breath is the peace, serenity, calm, and the calamity of spirit that lives us right there in the center of our being. I am so grateful for this knowing, for this indwelling of peace and continuity. It is with deep gratitude for its availability of simply turning within to the peace that innately exists within each of us. I release my word to a law that only says yes, and so it is. Gently bring yourself back into your fully aware, eye-open state. And please join us at 10:45 for our celebration service at Triangle Center for Spiritual Living. We look forward to seeing you there. Thank you.
Thank you, Cindy Johnson. This door is open to you. Welcome to the Triangle Center for Spiritual Living. My name is Dusty Ripplemeyer. I have the honor and the privilege of being the senior minister of this amazing community. We are part of a larger organization called Centers for Spiritual Living. We embrace new thought and ancient wisdom teachings, and through them, we believe in a practical spirituality that we can use to create a life that we love to live. We are a powerful community, lovingly committed to a world of acceptance, compassion, peace, and joy. We gather together to express love, to celebrate life, to grow spiritually, to practice radical acceptance and inclusion, and to connect with one another. What we are really about is providing a spiritual, supportive community where we can explore our own spiritual path and connect to the divinity and the wisdom within us. We welcome all of you that have been attending our services, our classes, and our special events. And we welcome all of you that are visiting for the very first time. We see all of you. We know who you really are. We appreciate you and we celebrate you. We are grateful that you have chosen to include us in your morning. My gratitude and appreciation goes out to Michelle Love, one of our licensed spiritual practitioners, who facilitated a beautiful meditation to set the stage for our service to unfold within. Thank you so very much, Michelle. And now please join me in welcoming licensed spiritual practitioner, Dr. Mike Morchinsky. Welcome, Dr. Mike.
Thank you, Reverend Dusty. Hello, everyone. Our theme for the month of March is Open to Possibilities. Our talk title today is With Open Arms. And you'll notice how Reverend Andy, our guest minister today, played with that, Open to Possibilities with Open Arms. Nice job, Andy. Now, holding vigil for us today, which means staying in a meditative space throughout the service, holding the space for us to have a transformative experience, is one of our spiritual licensed practitioners, Michelle Love. Thank you, Michelle, for your consciousness.
Thank you.
I am now going to read this community's purpose statement, and this is our reason for being here. Our purpose is to inspire, educate, empower individuals to experience themselves as unique and individualized expressions of God, the love intelligence that governs the universe. We are committed to not merely a theoretical understanding of our oneness and unity with God, but to consciously practice its truth in our everyday lives. Through celebration and service, study and fellowship, we are committed to the transformation of our personal lives and being a powerful and beneficial presence on the planet. With the energy of unconditional love, simply, we are here for God. And so it is. Now, the Triangle for Centers for Spiritual Living honors the diversity and the threads of truth that run through all different spiritual paths. And this ceremony represents that. So please welcome Don Procopio, who will be assisting us this morning. Welcome, Don.
Good morning, everyone.
Christianity is the path of Christ consciousness, love, and forgiveness. Buddhism is the path of compassion and understanding. Judaism is the ethical path of living by sacred law. Baha'i is the path of unity and peace. Islam is the path of submission to the will of God, the highest calling. Confucianism is the path of deliberate tradition. Taoism is the natural way, the path of ultimate reality. Native American practice and shamanic traditions are the path of primal spirituality. Shintoism is the path of tribal ancestry. Hinduism is the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. Science of mind and spirit is the path of the divine principle of love and law. And the heart represents the one heart, the one love that resides at the center of all people and beings everywhere with no exception. So may peace prevail on earth through the followers of all paths. I now invite you to join Cindy Johnson as she sings one of our opening congregation songs.
I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing love today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing peace today. I'm choosing peace today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing peace today. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing peace today. I'm choosing heaven today.
Thank you, Cindy. So at this moment, please turn within. If you're comfortable to close your outer eyes, that's fine. I'm going to do an invocation for the service. So I know as this service just begins, I speak a blessing on it, and I know that at this juncture in this service, that even now it is perfect, whole, and complete in the mind of God. That the people assembled to participate, including the congregation, are the perfect people. Divine love, deep consciousness surrounds this service and will flow and be purposeful for all at some level. I speak a blessing on Reverend Andy Ross, our guest minister speaker today, knowing that his words will provide wisdom, awareness, and deepening of consciousness. I know that Jessie Powers, our musical guest, will inspire with her music. I am also blessing the volunteers, Mark and Heather behind the scenes, and all the people whose faces you see on your screen for their participation and their contribution to this service. I know that this service is an idea in the mind of God that is coming to fruition. And for this I am grateful. I release this and say, and so it is. So the reading for today is from a Zen koan. A man traveling across a field encountered a tiger. He fled, the tiger after him. Coming to a precipice, he caught hold of the root of a wild vine and swung himself down over the edge. The tiger sniffed at him from above. Trembling, the man looked down to where far below another tiger was waiting to eat him. Only the vine sustained him. Two mice, one white and one black, little by little started to gnaw away the vine. The man saw a luscious strawberry near him. Grasping the vine with one hand, he plucked the strawberry with the other. How sweet it was. And so it is. It is my pleasure now to welcome Jessie Powers, our musical guest. Welcome, Jessie.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. I really appreciate the invitation. I was with you all in person a long time ago, but it's been a while. So let's think on that koan and let's get real present. And I'd love for you to breathe with me. I don't want to give words to this. Anything you have to interpret will only eclipse the heart of it. I just want to send it in sound with a wavelength clarity. Ooh. Nothing I could ever say will resonate the same way that this love does in me. Inhale, exhale, breathe. Somewhere in the beat of your heart, there I am. Somewhere underneath all the war-torn believing, there you have always been. It's something like a melody, it's something like a song, and it sings itself and it's never wrong. Oh, everywhere it plays for me, it's always on repeat. It's the love song of everything. Inhale, exhale, breathe. It's not just there in my body. It's not just there in the thoughts that I think. It's there in the roots, in the skies and the seas, in the eyelids, the irises, the wind and the wings, in the will be, the ever was, the reason and the just because. I am the song that I sing. Inhale, exhale, breathe with me.
Jess, such a beautiful song, such a beautiful voice. Thank you so very, very much for being with us today.
Thank you,
Really
Dusty.
appreciate it. Thank you. So our speaker today is no stranger to our community. He's often spoken from the pulpit and he's facilitated many classes over the years. He's a wonderful source of wisdom, inspiration, and comfort. He's a theologian, a minister, a chaplain, a husband, a father, and an amazing human being. He says this about himself: God is everywhere to me. I engage God through religion, walk with God in nature, and dance with God in art and music. God was first revealed to me through humor. For years, I performed in Chicago, Los Angeles, and New York, spreading the peace, joy, and love that I found with anyone who would listen. My time as a performing artist was transformative, but my desire to move deeper into the reality of God brought me home to North Carolina. Please assist me in welcoming our beloved friend, Reverend Andy Ross.
Hello, hello, hello.
Welcome, Andy. Thank you so
Thank you.
much for being with us today. Really appreciate
Thank you. I had no idea that you were going to read that, and now I'm emotional, which I guess is a good place to begin because being emotional is equivalent or equated with being vulnerable, and I am often emotional, therefore I suppose I'm often vulnerable, which is good. My father just texted me through my mother. My father doesn't text me. He texts me through my mother. And right before, a few minutes ago, he said, so now I have to change the entire talk. I have to change the entire trajectory of what I was going to talk about, because I was going to talk about sin and damnation and all kinds of wonderful things, but now I can't. If you know me at all, that's just some religious humor. I don't think I've ever talked about sin. I believe that human beings are born into blessings. I believe that human beings are expressions of being and consciousness itself, expressions of love. And I believe we are imperfect. I believe life is imperfect, and I believe that this is the way that life is meant to be. Sin speaks to something being wrong with us. And so I suppose I'd like to begin by telling you, whoever you are, wherever you are, wherever you're listening, in your pajamas, in your clothes, without, eating breakfast, drinking coffee, maybe eating dinner somewhere else in another time zone, that you are perfect just the way you are. You are perfect in your imperfection. And if anybody tells you otherwise, send them to me, and I will correct them. So a little bit of gratitude. Thank you. Thank you, Dusty, and the people at the Triangle Center for Spiritual Living, who I consider friends and family, for continually bringing me back today to speak. If you do know me at all, you know that through speaking, I find truth. Through speaking, I encounter wisdom. So this is my spiritual practice, and Dusty and the folks at the Triangle Center have been kind enough to allow me to continue to practice with them. So every time I'm here and every time I'm speaking to you, I'm actually just doing me. And that's a quote from Ram Dass. He was speaking to a group of psychiatrists, and he was, sitting in kind of a lotus pose, and they were getting ready to listen to him talk about, deep things and learn some things. I mean, these are well-to-do psychiatrists and psychoanalysts. And the first thing Ram Dass says to introduce himself is, I'm just doing me. You may hear something, you may learn something, you may glean a bit of wisdom, but I'm just doing me. And that's the only dance there is. So thank you, Dusty. Thank you, community. Thank you, friends and family, for letting me, for allowing me, for encouraging me to do me. And thank you, Jesse. I haven't seen you in a while, and though I'm only seeing you through the screen, through the technological advancement of Wi-Fi, you are my soul sister. You are amazing. When you sing, it penetrates me. It penetrates my heart and my soul. And you make me breathe, and you make me dance. You make me smile. So thank you for your gift. So I would like to welcome you to my home. This is my home. And I've never done a sermon, a live talk from my home before, but it's fitting today because home is the place I return to. Home is the place that I come home to. Home is the place where my wife lives, my two daughters live. Home is the place where my cat lives. Home is the place where my stuff resides. Home is the place where I probably spend the majority of my time. And home is the place that drives me crazy. So I'm going to bring you through a typical day. I'm coming home. I'm driving my car, and I pull into the driveway, and I get out, and take a deep breath. It's been a long day at work, and just happy to be home, just full of gratitude. So I walk, up the stairs, up the porch steps, and I open the door, and bam, home hits me. Children, daughters arguing with each other, wife stomping around because she's been with the children, arguing with each other all day, blankets strewn about, dishes and food, and immediately I am overwhelmed. You could say that I'm overwhelmed by abundance, because all that I'm speaking about is abundance. My children, my wife, my cat. I say they're not mine, but they're part of my microcosm, my reality. And my stuff, my blankets. Did you know? You don't know this, but I'm telling you so you'll know. We have like 8 blankets in the living room. Who has 8 blankets in the living room? We do. We have 8 blankets in the living room. And that's abundance, but the abundance overwhelms me and creates resistance. And this is why my home tends to overwhelm me, is because I can't control it. My home is alive. My home moves. My home is this shifting, changing, energetic microcosm of life. Not to mention the fact that I have children that are alive with emotions and fears and angsts and hopes. And I have a wife who's a human being all her own. And I have been not trying to, but wondering if I can control any part of her for 20 years, and it's not possible. So I think the reason I experience such resistance, such angst, is because my home is completely beyond my control. I have no control over this. I can contribute to it. I can give to it. I can do a bit of cleaning here and there. I can fold blankets, all 6 of them, and put them somewhere. I can do dishes. I can clean. I can rearrange things. So I can contribute to my environment, to my home, but I can't control it. And I believe, and the reason I'm mentioning my home, and the reason I believe it's serendipitous that we're doing this from a corner, the only clean corner in my home, is because I think we all feel this way about life sometimes. Go beyond your home and chaos, creation, life, death, suffering, abundance, poverty, racism, bigotry, all the other isms, war, clashings of cultures, people arguing on Facebook, more people arguing on Facebook, other people arguing on Facebook. And so life is alive. Life is the macrocosm of my home. If my home, these walls, if this is the microcosm, life is the macrocosm, and I have no control over that either. We don't. So we can walk out into the world and we can be very, very overwhelmed. And that overwhelming sense that we are bombarded with on a daily basis is what creates the resistance. So why? That's what I've been wondering this week. Why? Why do we think at any point in any day of our lives, why do we think we can control this? Why do we try and control this? Those are the 2 questions I've been sitting with and meditating on this week. And I think there's 2 reasons. The first reason is really, really cool. And it's one of those, I was trying to find a way to spiritualize this, to make this sound wise, to make this sound pithy, to make this sound like something I'd say and you'd go, oh, Andy, oh. That's what my mother says when I say something really cool. She goes, oh, Andy. But I couldn't figure out a way to make it sound wise. So I'm just going to say it. The first reason we try to control life, the first reason we continually try and control our environment is we don't like it all. Right? We don't like all of life. We don't find all of life pleasurable. We don't find all of life pleasant. There are many things in life that we simply don't care for. Who likes war? Who likes the isms, the racisms, the sexisms? Who likes being taunted on Facebook? Who likes, when, oh, I got a new car, not a new car, but a newish car to me. Who likes when someone bumps into your brand new car? That didn't happen, by the way, Mom. But who likes that? So we don't like all of life. Therefore, we think, I want to increase this part. I want to increase the pleasure. I want to increase what I consider the good stuff. And I want to decrease the bad stuff. So that's the first reason we continually try to control life, is because, quite frankly, we don't like it all. The second reason we constantly try to control life is we have found that we exist in a causal relationship with life. Our actions matter. And by actions, I don't just mean physical actions. I mean our thoughts matter. Our thoughts create something. Our words matter. Our words create something. And yes, our physical actions matter. Our physical actions create something. Imagine life as a pond, and every thought, every word, every deed is a rock we toss in that pond, and it creates a ripple that continues for all eternity. Reminds me of a line in Gladiator. Russell Crowe has gathered with his elite forces. There's like 20 of them. And he says, your actions in this life echo in eternity. Russell, you did it. But our actions matter. And that's why we think, okay, I have a causal relationship with life. I've noticed when I think this, this happens. When I think this, this happens. When I say this, this is the reaction I get. When I say this, this is the reaction I get. When I do these things, I've noticed that they have an effect. And a large part of human evolution is the evolving relationship we have with life, this awareness, this self-reflection of the causal relationship we have with our surroundings. Our actions matter. We can influence our surroundings. So we think, okay, if I don't like all of life and my actions matter, my actions have resonance, maybe I can increase this. I can act in a way that increases the good, that increases pleasure, that increases what I like, and I can act in a way that decreases the negativity, that decreases the pain, that decreases the suffering, the negative parts of life. And so we begin this cycle. It's a cycle that I think the Hindus I know the Hindus refer to as samsara, the cycle of existence. Action, reaction, action, reaction. You want to see it this way? Action, reaction, action, reaction. So we begin, and guess what? Guess what? It works. It works. We notice when I do this, good increases. When I do this, bad decreases. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And it works, and it works, and it works, and it works until it doesn't. It works until it doesn't. And inevitably, we fall back into the same resistance, into the same suffering, into the same place we started. Why? If my actions have a causal relationship, if I've noticed that these actions, and of course, remember, I'm talking about thoughts, words, and deeds. If my actions increase pleasure, increase the good, and decrease the bad, why does it inevitably break down? Why am I doomed to come back into my home and see 6 blankets strewn on the floor? And why, most importantly, does it drive me crazy? How would you like to check out a religious symbol? I have my iPad with me. And I thought by looking at this symbol, by studying this symbol, by asking this symbol, what do you have to tell me today, symbol? This is what I do in the morning. I look at religious symbols and I say, what do you have to tell me, symbol? I thought by looking at the symbol and breaking it down, we could use it to understand why we inevitably resist, why this doesn't seem to work. And of course, practically, Dusty said, we're about practicality. Practically, how can we move forward to alleviate suffering and most importantly, to alleviate resistance? I want to show you something. Oh, I'm sorry, there's a glare. I'm trying to get out of the glare. Mark, I'm trying to get out of the glare, Mark. How's that? Is that good? How's that? That's that. Wait. Okay, there's a mirror. You can see it. This is the yin and the yang, my favorite religious symbol. When I was 11 years old, I had my ears pierced. Well, one of them first, and then I got other ears pierced. And I had a dangly earring with this symbol on it. And at the time, I had no idea what it meant. But over time, this symbol kept following me. More earrings, t-shirts, surfer dudes with, or dudettes with the tattoos. That's the yin yang. It's a very popular symbol, and it's a very old symbol. It's been around for thousands of years. And I think this very simple symbol, a symbol of simplicity, can teach us a lot about life. So what do we notice? I'll hold it over here. What do we notice about the symbol? The first thing we notice is that it's balanced. It's balanced. Dark and light. Positive and negative. Pleasure and pain. Up and down. Life and death. This symbol tells us first and foremost that all of life is balanced. So what does that have to do with my actions, with what I'm doing to increase the good and decrease the bad, increase the pleasure and decrease the pain? Well, this symbol tells me that every time I do this, I do this. By increasing one, I inevitably increase the other. That no matter what I do, life will always be balanced. There will always be an equal amount of pleasure and pain. There will always be an equal amount of up and down, of life and death, that the two exist in balance. And if I focus, if all I do is try to increase the one and decrease the other, it's going to create an unequilibrium that eventually will balance itself back out. So if I work very, very hard to clean my house, to make my house exactly what I want it to be, and remember, my house is a metaphor for life. If I work very hard to make my house exactly what it is, exactly what I believe is good, is positive, inevitably the other will increase as well. Isn't that crazy? That the more I try to increase one, the more I increase the other. Let's move on. This side. What else is this symbol telling us? Well, if you've noticed, and I've noticed because I've studied these things for a while, that not only is this dark and light, positive and negative, up and down, life and death, but it's not a straight line, is it? It's moving. Negative and positive are constantly moving, up and down, life and death. It's this constant movement of life. My home, our planet, our creation is not static. It's constantly shifting. It's constantly moving. If I fold these blankets, they'll become unfolded again. If I work to increase one, not only the reason the other one increases as well is because life is constantly in motion. If I try my darndest, my damnedest to fit life into my hands, to fit life into my control, it will move and shift as soon as I get where I want to go. Have you ever felt that? Like you work very hard to get life into a certain place. You work very hard to get your life, like our life is our own. Work very hard to get our life under control, to get it to a certain place. You finally get it there, like you're cupping water from the ocean. You finally get it exactly where you want it. And then what happens? It changes. As soon as I get life where I want it, as soon as I get my home where I want it to be, and I do these quotes for a reason, because want, good, bad, these are perspectives. As soon as I get my life where I want it to be, something happens and it shifts, it changes. And then I got to do it all over again. I just got this house clean. Girls, I just cleaned the house and it's dirty again. So we can go out into the world and we can work on cleaning up a bit. We can work on alleviating pain. We can work on increasing pleasure, but inevitably it will rebalance itself and inevitably it will move. There's one more thing I want to show you, and believe me, we're going to get to something else. sorry, this side. Balance, dark and light, positive and negative, up and down, constantly moving. And most importantly, and this I think is the brilliance. I don't know if someone invented this symbol. Someone was just sitting around going, you know, this would be pretty cool for a tattoo. And then someone else said, dude, that's deep. If you'll notice, there is dark in the light. There is light in the dark. There is negative in the positive. There is positive in the negative. There is life in death, and there is death in life. They're not solid colors, are they? If I work very hard to increase the positive, if I work very hard to create something that I consider is good and perfect, there will inevitably, it's a hard word to say, inevitably be an element of the negative within it. So a life of balance, life that is balanced, is not just negative, positive, up, down, life and death. They actually move and exist within one another. So what can we do with this? Where can we go? Our actions have meaning. Our actions change things. I'm not going to stop cleaning my house. I suppose I could. I could walk downstairs today and I could say, Becky's my wife, I'm not cleaning anymore. I'm not doing any more dishes. And she'll say, why? Actually, she'll say, get out. Before she says get out, she'll say, why? And I'll say, the yin and the yang, balance. I refuse to do anything. But that's not the answer. That is not the answer, because our actions matter. Our actions matter. Cleaning and contributing and giving positivity and giving ourselves and trying to make this home the best it can be. These things are not only possible, but they matter. But the yin and the yang is teaching us that there is no peace to be found in action. There is no peace to be created by thought. There is no peace to be manipulated by words. Peace only exists in balance. And guess what? Life is always balanced. So what do I do? What do I do? How do I live my life? How do I contribute? How do I give? How do I know that my actions matter and still find some sort of peace in the doing? Well, let's say I just pull up in my car. I drive into the driveway. I turn the car off. I step out. Work is over and I am home. I walk up the steps. I open the door. I take a breath. I open my arms and I let it all in. I see it all. I see my children, my beautiful children, arguing. I see my wife, my devoted, wonderful wife, upset. I see 6 blankets. What a gift 6 blankets are. I see dishes. That means we've eaten today. That's good. That's really good. I see it all. And once I see it all, once I open my arms to it, something happens, something dissipates, or maybe something doesn't happen. What doesn't rise is resistance. What doesn't rise is that vibration of I can't even use the word negativity now because I've been talking about positive and negative. That vibration of resistance that the Buddha called suffering, that pushes me away from life and forces me to try to fit it into some kind of bubble. That doesn't rise. In fact, when I open my arms, that resistance dissipates. And then, only then, I act. Maybe I ask my children what you're fighting about and what, if anything, I can do to assist. I ask my wife, what's troubling you? It's been a long day. Is there something I can do to assist? I see some blankets on the floor and I pick them up. I see some dishes in the sink and I do them. But I'm not doing any of this thinking that it's going to bring me peace, thinking that it's going to create a perfect home. There is no perfect home. There is no perfect life except for the perfection that exists already within everything, within the balance. You see, I've let go of control. I've let go of the illusion that I have control over this. And I've embraced the reality that all I can do with life is give to it. That's all I can do. I give what I am authentically. I give my thoughts to life. I give my words to life. I give my actions to life. But I can only do this when I open my arms. Let me tell you what life is. Life is a realm of possibilities. That's it. That's what life is. When God pours itself into creation, creation is this beautiful expression of intermingling, interwoven. There's no, like Jessie said in her song, words just ruin it. I want to describe it, but I can't. Words just, Jessie, you're in my head. Words just ruin it. But what life is to me is possibilities. All life is possibilities. But how are you going to see the possibilities if you don't look? How are you going to see the wonderful possibilities of this life if you close your eyes and your arms? You know, we walk into a room, we walk into our life, and we think, this is what I'm going to create. No. Go into life, see the possibilities, and then create. Then act. See what you have to work with, because believe me, we all have plenty to work with. Life is abundance. Life is 6 blankets on a floor. But if I don't see those blankets, I can't wrap myself up. I can't fold them. I can't keep myself warm. I can't give them away to a neighbor who's cold. I can't do any of that if I'm just complaining about the damn blankets. So this is my push to you today. This is my charge. This is what I am beckoning, begging, and asking you to do. When you go into your life today, when you walk into your home or into this greater home that is creation, do so with open arms. Don't resist it. Let it all in, and then let it all out in the form of self-giving love. That's how God creates. Self-giving love. You are enough. Life is enough. And it's all good. So I thank you for listening for a moment, and I'd like to lead us in a prayer, if you don't mind. And if you do mind, I won't know, because you're in the computer screen and I don't know what you're doing. You could have walked away by now. I hope you didn't. But why don't we come together in a prayer? And this prayer is going to be one of open arms. This prayer is going to be one of acceptance and one of discernment of what can I give. So you're welcome to close your eyes. You don't have to. I close my eyes because I get distracted easily. So close your eyes with me if you'd like. I'm going to take a deep breath. Peace, love, and joy. Being that becomes all things. We are grateful for creation. We are grateful for our corner of the world, for our home, our microcosm. We are thankful for all things. God of peace, as we move into this day, we choose to do so with open arms, because we know deep down, even though we don't always know in our minds, that it is all good, that there is a balance of pleasure and pain, of up and down, of life and death, and it is all good. And God of peace and being, we want to see it all, because what a gift it is. So help us, be with us, move with us as you always do into a new day. Open arms, open mind, open eyes, seeing all the possibilities of life, of saying yes and then giving. I pray that I am able to give the only thing I have, me, myself, and I. And I ask each one of us on this computer call/service today to do the same. Let go of all need, let go of all angst, let go of all resistance, open your arms and give what you have, which is yourself. Walk into life bravely, open arms, open eyes, saying, yes, this is good, and I will give today. For all these things, I say thank you. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you so very much, Andy, for doing you. It is always such a joy to behold. Such a joy to behold. Thank you. Thank you so very much. It is now time for our conscious giving. The Triangle Center for Spiritual Living is sustained by the giving of our time, talent, and treasure. This is the time every week when we offer financial support to assist this community to be a beacon of light and love for ourselves and others. Together, we affirm the truth that today's offering lifts this spiritual community, prospers the one giving, and contributes to the experience of sufficiency in the world. I invite you now to please place your hand on your heart with your gift and intention, and let's say our affirmation to get as a call and response. I live in an abundant universe that blesses and prospers my life.
I live in an abundant universe that blesses and prospers my life.
I give with gratitude, knowing God is my source.
I give with gratitude, knowing that God is my source.
And so it is.
So it is.
So it is. Amen. Thank you, Don, for representing the community. And now, community, please welcome back the amazing, the magnificent, the brilliant Jess Powers.
Andy, you're so cool. Guys, please send Andy some love. He's so amazing. So this is a song for that moment when Andy walks in the door and sees all the blankets on the ground. It's about letting go. Sometimes it feels like my heart is stuck in a revolving door, like the yin yang symbol. It can get me down so much I don't even want to mess with it anymore, but that's life. Ah, that too familiar feeling, oh, I know it well, but I don't let it get too far, not anymore. No, I'm too good at staying cool now. Yes, I am learning the art, and I'm getting good at letting go, yeah. Getting good at giving it over, 'cause I know it ain't in my hands. Oh, I'm getting good at letting go, yeah. Getting good at giving it over, 'cause I know, though I do not understand, my soul's always got something better planned. Something better than what you're afraid is gonna happen when you see all the blankets on the floor. When the shadow comes creeping in like a thief from my past, I turn on the light by remembering only my soul knows my path. And I'm getting good at letting go, yeah. Getting good at giving it over, 'cause I know it ain't in my hands. So I'm getting good at letting go, yeah. Getting good at giving it over, 'cause I know, though I do not understand, my soul's always got something better planned, and I am unburdened. Yes, I am free when I believe. Hey, if I just keep trusting, if I keep the faith, I know I'll see. When I let go, when I know when I let go, and I know that my soul's always got, yes, my soul's always got, oh, my soul's always got something better planned. Yeah, something better, something better, something better is coming along. Ooh, yeah. just want to say thank you to Michael Fawcett, who was a part of your community for a while and still is in spirit because he helped write that song. So thank you. Want to make sure I give him credit.
Thank you, Jesse.
Thank you.
So if anyone would like prayer, you can please go to the Triangle Center for Spiritual Living's website and trianglecenterspiritualliving.org. And on the homepage, there's a button up in the right-hand corner. So click on that button, fill in the form, and your prayer will be passed along to the practitioners and ministers. Please join us after our service for Let's Stay Connected, and that will be on Zoom. The link is on the Wednesday newsletter. And please mark your calendar and save the date for our community picnic. That will be on May 15th from 12 to 5. Bring your own food, chair, drink, activities and games, and help us celebrate life and each other. Everyone is welcome, although there's a limit to 50 people. There will be further information coming along. It's at the Lake Crabtree Beach Shelter. So just stay tuned for the sign-up sheet and a little more information about that event. On Wednesday, the March 31st, join us for Radical Joy with Melissa Filippi and Z. Egloff. And this is a special celebration on Wednesday because it's the 5th Wednesday of the month. So there's a special service. It's going to be an evening of fun, inspiration, and creativity. The two guests are ministers and musicians, and they're no strangers to our community. They did a Sunday service and a workshop in 2019. The evening will include words, music, movement to ignite your heart and satisfy your soul. So join us on the regular YouTube or Facebook channel. It should be an amazing, amazing evening. Again, that's Wednesday, March 31st. So mark your calendar for that also. Now, Easter is right around the corner. Our Easter service is called The Path Less Traveled. So Easter is a celebratory occasion to metaphysically look at the spiritual evolution of Jesus. His life is a powerful example of the path less traveled, and his last few days an amazing outline for living a fully realized spiritual life. Please join us as we will explore the spiritual truths of Easter and allow them to call us to examine our own lives. And there will be wonderful and amazing music at that event. So in the comfort of your own home, if you'd like to stand for our March affirmation, this is a call and response. My life is the embodiment of Spirit's highest idea of itself as me.
My life is the embodiment of Spirit's highest idea of itself as me.
I remain open to possibilities to experience a life beyond my wildest imagination.
I remain open to possibilities to experience a life beyond my wildest imagination.
I live in a state of curiosity about that life.
I live in a state of curiosity about that life.
My work is to be still and listen to the voice within.
My work is to be still and listen to the voice within.
I follow its guidance about what needs to be released, allowing a new idea to unfold.
I follow its guidance about what needs to be released, allowing a new idea to unfold.
With open arms, I embrace my transformation.
With open arms, I embrace my transformation.
I relax and behold God's grace unfolding as my life.
I relax and behold God's grace unfolding as my life.
And so it is.
And so it is.
So please stay around after the benediction for a closing song. And I want to thank Don for assisting with that call and response. So I'd like to have you close, well, you don't have to, but if you do like to focus, to close your outer eyes and turn within one last time as the service concludes. And take a breath and just relax and be open to possibilities. Now, when we do a prayer, we recognize and we unify, and then we declare or we know something for ourselves. And usually the person praying has contact with the person they're praying for, and they know the essence of what that is. And because of this unique situation of being online and the unique topic for March being open to possibilities with open arms, as Reverend Andy added, I would like you to reflect for 1 minute on a possibility for yourself. And no judgment around this, but please focus more on something less than cars and money and houses, although, obviously they're not bad, but something more like more peace in your life, more joy, more happiness, a deeper connection to spirit, being less in control, having not to be right all the time, being able to see yourself and others. And just contemplate for a moment now. What is that possibility? And just like the March affirmation, what do we have to release, open our arms to? As an example for me in my prayers recently, it's staying present in the moment with presence, not projecting ahead or thinking backwards into the past, but just staying in that moment where, like Andy said when he came home with open arms, he accepted what it was in that moment, and that was perfect. And he didn't want to resist it or find something wrong with it. So go to some place in yourself where a situation like that may be, where you can transform something in yourself. So as I recognize that God is all there is only one presence, there is only one power, and that power and presence is infused in each of us. It's the truth that is in the core of our being. It is the place we can turn at any moment in time and find peace and joy and explore what happiness is, a deeper happiness or a true love. Explore the possibility of deepening that connection in ourselves. And I am so grateful for today, for this service, for all the people involved, for our guest speaker, Andy, and Jesse, our guest musician, and all the community who listened, whether they were people who've been here before or new for the first time. Because as I release these words, I release them into the law and love. And I know they are so, and so it is.
You're my life, you're my breath, you're a smile, you're my guest. You're the earth, you're the sun, you're the grass, you are love. You're my hands, you're a bug, you're my eyes, you're a hug. You're the light in the dark, you're the spark, you are fun. You're my mom, you are water, you're the stars, you're my daughter. You're my friend till the end, you're my dreams, you're my father. You're the ants on the ground, the miracles that surround. I'm feeling it all around, the hemisphere in the clouds. You're my pain, you're my sorrow, you're my hope for tomorrow. You're the strength when I'm hollow, you're the path that I follow. You're the blessings that exist, the small things that are bliss. The gift to realize that everything
All
is a
that
gift.
I am, all that I see, all that I've been, and all that I'll ever be is a blessing. It's so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all, for it all. Grateful
start looking towards your heart. It'll open all the doors and only then you'll start to hear the world singing chorus with your mind and heart. Aligned in purpose, everything will feel gorgeous.
All that I see, all that I've been, and all that I'll ever be is a blessing. It's so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all.
Every day I sit and pray, cause what I have is more than I deserve or could ever imagine. How do I give back to all of this magic and spread the love so everybody can have it? Doesn't matter if I'm rich or poor, if I got a family or if I'm all alone. Bad things happen, I can just complain and moan, but there's a million things that I can be grateful for.
So I lift up my hands now, and I open my heart, and my gratitude goes out to everything near and far. All that I am,
Everything I am and everything I see, everything I hope and everything I dream, everything I feel and everything I be. I look deep down and feel all the blessings. Everything I am and everything I see, everything I hope and everything I dream, everything I feel and everything I be. I'm grateful for it all. It's amazing. Everything I am and everything I see, everything I hope and everything I dream, everything I feel and everything I be. I look deep down and feel all the blessings. Everything I am and everything I see, everything I hope and everything I dream, everything I feel and everything I be. I'm grateful for it all. It's amazing. You're the blessings that exist, the small things that are bliss, the gift to realize that everything is a gift.
I love, love, love that song. Thank you all so very much for being with all of us today. We loved serving you. We're grateful for you. Have an amazing week. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.